Pokemon is a game filled with Pokemon, and even the older versions have maintained a lot of attention throughout the years, as at least 12 people have played a DS or Game Boy title over the last 2 months. As a result, I figured I'd play one of them in order to see if they still compare to the modern day games. But you'll have to bear with me, as it's been a hot minute since I've started up a journey. Nonetheless, there's no better place to revisit other than at the beginning with Generation 5. So I inserted my Pokemon Gold cartridge into my Xbox 360 and got started. This epic journey began in Pallet Town, where we met our neighbor, whose name is Charon, before venturing into Route 47. Here, Professor Elm was being chased around by a Poochyena, which I defeated using a Chikorita from the professor's bag. North of Sandgem Town, we challenged Barry to a battle for the first time, and fortunately, his Charmander didn't have any super effective electric type moves, so it was a piece of cake. West of there, we met our brother, Byron, who's a gym leader here in the Galar region. For now though, he just had us watch Trevor use his Ladybug to catch a Houndour, allowing us to check out the Eterna Forest. A Team Magma Grunt was causing some issues here, but after saving the day, it was time for the Orberg City Gym. Inside, Chikorita evolved into its next form, Monferno, before we faced a Brock. I was super nervous for this one, as I knew one Ghost-type attack would be the end for us. Somehow though, a couple rolling kicks were enough to wipe out his Roggenrola as an Onix. With 2 badges in my hand, I caught a Patrat on Route 77 before dealing with Blue again and sailing south to Cinnabar Island. Here we had to deliver some mail to this dude named Wallace and challenge Maylene. Her psychic types put up a decent fight, but Monferno eventually outlasted them. So the next stop was Coumarine City, where we had another run-in with Team Flare. Their presence alone though was enough to make Patrat evolve into a Quagsire, and I then proceeded to capture a Shellos on Route 151. Halfway through the area, Serena was looking for revenge, but her mons didn't stand a chance. After taking care of Tierno outside the Hammerlock Gym, it was time for Lieutenant Surge. Gastrodon's Mudsport shattered most of his squad, but his Luxray put up a solid fight. Luckily, I managed to whittle it down enough and catch it on my first try. Further south in the Rock Tunnel, Team Yell was causing havoc, so we had to prevent Bowser from capturing Princess Peach on top of Mount Mortar. This meant that we could take on Claire in the Lavender Town Gym, whose poison types weren't much of an issue. Shellos took care of Camerupt and Macargo, while Whiscash handled Goomba. However, I didn't feel like dealing with her Torterra, so I threw a Master Ball at it instead. The next gym in line was Mistralton's, but first I had to let Monferno become a Totodile. Only then was I able to wipe out Faulkner's team with my ground-type moves. The next stretch of the game involved beating Zelda again, obtaining the fire element by clearing the Cave of Flames, witnessing Archie awaken Kyogre using the yellow orb, and entering the 7th gym in Lilycove Town. This triple battle was somewhat difficult, but in the end, their Miniors finally met their fate. This meant that only the 5th gym stood in the way of having all the badges. First though, we had to deal with Ganondorf awakening Groudon, which forced us to use the Pokemart's teleportation system to reach Mewtwo. Upon saving the day, Misty's squad of water types wasn't too much of a threat, as her Luvdeisk, Weiskeish, Sealeo, and Kratom all went down without too many issues. Kindray set up with double team though, and nearly swept through the rest of my team before Whiscash finally knocked it out with Bulldoze. So the only thing that stood in between us and the big leagues was Road Victory, which did include one last showdown with Benny, but it happened so fast that you can't even see it. Anyways, I felt like the team was a little underleveled at this point, so I made sure to do some long and tough grinding to beef them up a bit. As a result, the team was looking better, but I'm still nervous going into the Elite Four, as they're known for being some of the toughest trainers around, and I really don't know if this squad can handle them. But there was only one way to find out, beginning with Glacia, the cold-type user. I wasn't sure how well our Thunder-type attacks would stack up, but thankfully, one Thundershock was just barely able to OHKO even her strongest team member. So it was on to Marshall, known for his Karate-type Pokemon. Although we were of the Mind typing, I was super shocked to see Psybeam obliterate his entire team. Phoebe was next in line, who specialized in spooky types. My Pokemon looked pretty scared going up against them, but managed to put aside its fears and somehow win the battle with a few shadow punches. Last but not least was Drake, the flying type specialist. I knew one tackle from any of his mons would be the end for us, but thanks to them resisting Aurora Beam, we miraculously made it through the Elite Four without taking any damage. So all that was left was May, the champion. She opened up with Firo, who fainted at just the mere appearance of my team. Milotic immediately followed suit, but Ninetales was sent in after that. I knew if this thing outsped us, it would be all over. And when the turn came, we landed our move first, thanks to the 39 numbers and the level disparity. But then it was the ace of our team, who shockingly couldn't survive a single hit. I couldn't believe it. My underwhelming team of underdogs was about to enter themselves in the Hall of Fame. Her last 2 mons weren't even sent out onto the field. We were victorious. Well, it turns out that you can use toothpaste to fix a crack on your iPod Touch. For now though, make sure to hit that follow button and use your Twitch Prime to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, welcome to the video.